Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We meet here not in the best of times. In fact, speaking frankly, it's the worst of times. The world economy is in a dizzying tailspin. The highest temples of capitalism are collapsing or collapsed. Everyone seems to be drowning in a sea of debt, and there is a pall of gloom as we hurtle towards an uncertain future. Besides the economic slowdown, India is still psychologically reeling from the horror of 26/11 attacks in Bombay. Our neighborhood is troubled too. We have a deceitful, double-talking neighbor in the west, a fledgling government recovering from a bloody mutiny in the east. Across the water in the south, a bitter civil war continues, and in the north, a Maoist government struggles with democracy. At home, since the trust vote in July, we have a rudderless government and a ramshackle opposition. Now we are faced with a general election in the next 40 days. One national party is spellbound by dynasty, and the other is nearing a state of rigor mortis. The other smaller parties are jockeying to see who they can go to bed with. None of the parties, sadly, including the national ones, have a vision or a message. The final outcome is likely to be, as what we say in India, a khichdi, whose ingredients are still open to guesswork. I could go on, but I don't want to depress you any more so early in the morning. So the good news is that you're in the right place at the right time. So welcome to the India Today's 8th Conclave. It's time for you to step back from your daily worries and take a deep breath. And for the next 2 days, you should think, listen, question, and argue with some of the finest minds in the world about what the future holds for us. Every year, the Conclave reminds me how fortunate we are to have the most fundamental of freedoms which are not available to a large part of the world: the freedom of expression. Our conclaves are more than just a controlled gabfest. They are the true spirit of our democracy: volatile, irreverent, ruthless, and sometimes noisy. It is freedom at its eloquent best. We had in the past conclaves speakers who were presidents and prime ministers of major countries, internationally recognized scholars and thinkers, religious and political leaders of every hue, pioneering scientists, Nobel laureates, leading industrialists, film stars, demagogues, and even retired terrorists. We have not always agreed with what they have said, and you may not agree with all what is going to be said from this platform in the next 2 days, but that's the whole point. This is where inventive minds breach the barriers of knowledge, and a profusion of questions shatters the coziness of received wisdom. The conclave is a festival of arguments, arguments that make sense of a world, of a present world, and seek patterns of the future. It is a celebration of our democracy. It is a tributary of a tradition kept alive by India Today magazine. In retrospect, India Today conclaves have been a great continuum, a kind of organic evolution with a great deal of assistance from history. And I must say, history has been an unstoppable gatecrasher to all the conclaves, changing our schedules, reordering our priorities, and even messing up our speakers' lists.